Atmaja. So I did not get a proper chance to introduce myself to you all. So you all may have gotten a little confused why today's webinar has a topic of ICT tools for beginners, because in our wording group we're always telling we're restricting everyone from posting anything that is not board related. But the topic is like ICT tools for beginners, so many people must have gotten confused. So I'll be clearing all your confusions before we start the webinar. And again, welcome to everyone on behalf of the whole organizing committee. And most people of you, first of all, did not get a nice chance to know why we created the group. So when I was little, I had a lot of interest in words, and I always wanted to get interactive with them, and that led to many things. So I also want different people to know, we are seeing birds every day around us. They're here and there, the crows are crowing, everything, etc., etc. But we never get to know in details for birds. We have read in school the different types of birds and etc., but we never get so detailed with them. And the much you wander into the world of birds, you will get to know many different things about them. That is very interesting. So I wanted people from different parts of India and also abroad to come and join in such a community where we will get more knowledge, we will get more things to know about birds. And for that reason only I created that group, Atmaja's Party group. And as you all may have known, this is our first webinar. So I told already that topic is ICT tools for beginners. Now the topic is a little bit different. It is not related to bird in such that way, but when we organized webinars before this, there were two webinars. Many people of you may have been specific and common with those. That was Biodiversity Series 1 and NDev Series 1. And those were very successful webinars, but we, from our experience, we saw that people were facing different problems, joining in such an online community. And then hearing webinars on online, that is a new thing for us, because in this COVID time, it is such a new thing. And people were complaining about, we can't hear you, we can't hear the sound, and you're not audible. So there were different kind of things that were interrupting and disrupting all the enjoyment in the webinar. So we thought that before starting any other thing in this group, we will first conduct a session on ICT tools. So people will know about ICT tools, and people will not face such problems in future while attending these webinars. So without further wasting the time, let me just give you a detailed program of the webinar, how it's going to go today. So as you all have known, we will be starting at 7:10. The main speaker will be starting at 7:10, but before that, I already told you everything about why this group was created, etc. And after me, Dr. Rajani Gautam, she's Associate Professor of Zoology, Bhopal. She will be giving us the introduction of our resource person. And our resource person is Dr. Sangeeta, Assistant Professor of Botany, Bahona College, Jorhat, Assam. And she will be giving you a very brief introduction and a very brief presentation on ICT tools. And after that, we are going to conduct our session, and we are going to continue that till 8:10. And after 8:10, if you all have any query or anything, you can write it in the chat box. We have our chat box. So, and from 8:10 to 8:20, a 20-minute discussion session will be conducted, and we'll be answering to all your questions, everything you have. And there we are going to have the vote of thanks and some other announcements, so you all can get in a detailed plan what we are going to do in future. So I think I have introduced everything, and let's not, it's already 7:06, and let's not waste any more time. So Dr. Rajani Gautam, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Good evening. Good evening to all.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am. So I pass the mic to you. You can please introduce our today's resource person.
Okay, thank you, Atmaja. Good evening to Dr. Devrata Das, Dr. Panti Ghosh, Atmaja Avirupa, organizers of today's webinar on ICT tools for beginners. I, Dr. Rajni Gautam, feeling privileged to get the opportunity to address this webinar. Information and communication technology is an extensional term for information technology that stresses the role of unified communications. The term ICT is also used to refer to the convergence of audiovisual and telephone networks with computer. ICT is an umbrella term that includes any communication device encompassing radio, television, cell phones, computers, and network hardware, satellite systems, and so on, as well as the various services and appliances with them, such as video conferencing and distance learning. Now, I would like to introduce you all about the today's speaker, Dr. Sangeeta Das, Assistant Professor of Botany, Bahoma College, Jorhat, Assam. Dr. Sangeeta did her PhD from Dibrugarh University, Assam, and also worked as PhD women scientist at Assam Agricultural University, Jorhat, Assam. She had edited many books and published a number of research papers and articles in reputed journals and books. She has presented a number of papers in different national and international seminars all over the country and delivered lectures as a resource person both inside and outside the country. She is also a member of editorial board in the International Journal of Integrated Research and Development, IJIRD, Journal of Intellectuals, JOI, and a reviewer in many national and international journals. Now, without wasting time, I would like to invite our eminent speaker, Dr. Sangeeta Das, to enlighten us with her lecture on ICT tools for beginners. Over to you, Dr. Sangeeta. Hello?
Hello, ma'am. Namaskar and a very good evening to one and all present in this ICT webinar, which is conducted by this Facebook group in association with the student organization via Google Meet, that is through online method. So first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Rajini Gordon, madam, thank you ma'am, for this nice introduction. And I would also like to thank Dr. Debabrata Das sir for organizing this webinar on ICT tools and giving me this opportunity to interact with all of you who are present here today. So thank you so much. So as Dr. Rajini Gordon madam, he has already mentioned about the topic of our today's webinar. So this is the topic is ICT tools for beginners. So before starting this session, I would like to tell you that I work in Department of Botany at Bahana College, and this institute is located in the town Jorhat within Assam, which is a part of northeast India of our country. So let us come to our topic, that is about ICT tools for the beginners. So ICT tool, it is not a new tool. We were already using it before this pandemic situation. Long back, we were using. We already know certain, modes or methods or different tools that we are using as a mean of our already offline system of communication. And so today we will start with a few of the tools, basic tools I'd like to say, which are really essential to join in any online kind of webinars. So let me first of all share my PPT. So let me start with this sharing option, that if you want to share something, because in this particular Facebook group, everything is going to get organized via Google Meet. So I will basically focus on Google Meet. So in Google Meet, you can see that if you are joining using a system, that is a laptop or a desktop, then you might have already seen that for presenting there are three options.
And many times it should happens that your PPT is open, but still you cannot present it. I mean, it is not visible to your students or to your participants. So it often happens. And that is why you should know that which option you should click. Like right now, I'm going to share a PPT with all of you. And if I want to share a PPT, I can go for, there are two options. The very first option is your entire screen. You can present your entire screen if you are joining through a desktop or a laptop. Now, but if you are going to share your entire screen, it so happens that everything that is stored or that is present on your desktop or on your screen, it will become visible to your students or to your participants. And sometimes you might feel awkward because you do not want to share each and everything that is stored on your system. So that is why you can go for the second option or the first option, that is sharing a tab or sharing a window. Now, right now, I'm going to click share a window, and before that, I must ensure that my PPT it is open on in my background. Otherwise, what will happen? Your PPT will not be, it will not be visible to your students or to your participants. So many times it happens. Like right now, you see my PPT is not visible. So technical errors are always possible. It is possible that many times, even if your PPT is open, it may not be sharing. So I am resharing, and this time I'm sure you are going to view my PPT. If you are viewing my PPT, just type 1 in the chat box. Or Atmaja, you can let me know whether it is visible or not.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Thank you, Atmaja. So see, right now it is visible, and I have clicked on the middle option, that is share a window. So that way we can always share it. Now let me go to the full presentation view. So this is our today's topic, ICT tools for beginners. I'd like to request all of you that if please join with your system, and in between, if you cannot see my PPT or if I am not audible, then you please let me know. Because in Google Meet, this is the problem that when you are sharing something, your presentation, then you cannot see your audience. So that is the problem. So it might happen, so please just let me know if it is not visible or if I am not audible. So this is our topic, and this is my mail ID and my phone number for your future reference. If you feel kind of interaction, more kind of interaction, then you can always contact with me using my mail ID or over phone number also. I'll be available. So ICT is not a new technique, as I have already mentioned. We all are using different forms of ICT, different methods, different tools of ICT. Like we are using email, we are using WhatsApp, and nowadays we are also using Telegram, through which we can send a text message, we can send a voice message to our students or to our participants, or if you are a business person, to your contact person, and so on. So different methods we are already using, but since the starting or beginning of this pandemic session, from the last year, that is 2020 March onwards, we all are facing a very hard time. We all are, facing this difficult period where we all are isolated socially as well as physically. We all are isolated. We all are stuck in our homes. We cannot meet anyone. Of course, there is a positive side is also there, because right now you're sitting in West Bengal, you're sitting in Rajasthan, or maybe different parts of India, and I am sitting in a remote part of India, that is in Jorhat, and still I am able to communicate with all of you. That is the positive part, but negative parts are more, because you see right now I cannot see anyone. I don't know who are you sitting in front of me. I just on the screen is appearing, your names are visible, but I cannot see anyone. So it is a very difficult time that without seeing, without being, you have to justify yourself. You have to make your lecture up to that level so that your students or your participants, they get access to you. They feel like listening to you. Otherwise, nowadays you all know that on your mobile, on a single click, you can simply leave this present tab, and you can go for clicking or your, opening some other using your browser. So your students, if they will not be feeling interested, they will not be listening to you. So that is the issue nowadays. So that is how we should know certain basic ICT tools. And I'm quite sure that not all of you are beginners. You all have started your journey. Someone might be at the beginning, someone might be at the middle, someone might be at some advanced level of learning. But still, since the topic is for beginners, so I will do as much as justice I can do with my topic, and let me move on. So ICT means a lot which cannot cover in a single hour of talk. So I'll be covering a very specific parts. So already we're using different ICT tools for retrieving, for storing, for creating. Now we are creating e-contents for our students and all. And we are also writing our blogs, we are chatting, we are emailing, we are also screencasting, we are organizing webinars, and so on. So all of this I cannot cover. So specifically, I will stick to some terms. So some terminologies are on your screen right now. You can see, like we will learn about wave conferencing. What is wave conferencing? Then we will also learn about whiteboard. I guess if someone is from the mathematical background or statistical background, you must be knowing how difficult it is. Many of teachers, they're just putting their camera or a mobile or laptop at some corner, and they're using a whiteboard where they're writing and their students are listening. So that is also a way of using whiteboard. But online also, the same whiteboard is available, and with a minimum costing, you can, or at free of cost also, you can utilize this whiteboards. I will show you how to use it. Then attendance, this is another problem for our we the teachers. We all know, like in this webinar also, you 60 plus people are present here, and if the organizer wants to find the attendance, then what he will have to do, he'll have to create a form for taking the attendance. Now, but if it's an online class and say your number of students is 100 or more than 100, which is possible if you're using a educational, this Google Meet account, but in a personal account only 100 is allowed right now. So then taking the attendance, it is going to be a big deal. It is very, very, very difficult to take the attendance if your students are 100 or more than 100. So in that case, I will show you how within a single click, using a single click, how you can take the attendance. Then quizzes. We all know what we are facing right now. Maybe you will have to conduct an online test, a quiz, or if you want to conduct. We cannot physically meet each other like we earlier used to do in a conference hall or in a seminar hall or in a classroom or maybe in a business meeting. So I will show you the easiest way to create a form through which you can conduct your quizzes among your students or among your, or if you are a business person, you can market survey and all you can conduct. And if time permits, I don't know within 1 hour whether I'll be able to complete all this, but I will try to share with all of you some screen recording tool through which you can create some e-contents which you can share with your students, your customers, or your some other contact persons. So basically, these are the terms that I'm going to share with all of you. And to begin with, there's a single word that explains all of the most of this, and it is Google. Yes. So Google has done a lot over the years to make our online teaching learning process a better one. This is because of Google. They have developed so many apps, so many handy and useful, very simple apps. At free of cost, you can use them. Simply you have to know how to use it, and you can use all these different types of apps. And I'm quite sure many of you are already using most of these apps. Like Gmail, we all have a Gmail account. Of course, earlier people used to have account in Mail or some other, but nowadays we all are having a Google Gmail account. And this is what is the basic thing that we need to utilize all of these apps. Then Google Calendar, you might have heard if you're using Google Meet, so you already know what is the importance of Google Calendar. So using Google Calendar, we can create a link. I will show you how to create a link. If you are just a beginner, you have just started your journey of ICT, I will show you. So Google Calendar is a very handy tool, like your mobile calendar or the calendar that is on your wall. Same way the Google Calendar works. You can store anything, any data, any reminder you can put here, and it will simply send you messages or mails, reminding you about that particular event. So it is very, very useful tool. Then Google Meet, I will explain. Already we are using it. We are in this webinar using Google Meet. Google Docs is there. It is more or less similar with that of your Word processor. We all know how a Microsoft Word works, so it is a replacement. Then Sheets is there. It is a replacement of Excel, you can say. And slides, presentation slides, we are already using. Then Google Form, I will show you how using a simple Google Form, you can create your quizzes or your online assessment. And it is very, very handy, I'm telling you. Then Google Classroom also, if you are a teacher, I can see most of your students as well as teachers, so definitely you are using Google Classroom. Like I'm also using Google Classroom. This is a virtual classroom where you can teach your students, you can assign them with some assignments, with online exams. Then you can also upload materials, videos, and so on. So it is such a useful tool. And there are many more. So Google Drive, I know if you are having a Gmail account, you are already having a Google Drive. So this is a one-stop solution, Google. Okay? Only we need is a Gmail account. Then web conferencing. What is web conferencing? Right now, the way we are communicating, this is a direct, although indirect, but still it is direct because you can simply unmute, you can put on your video and you can interact. So the most useful tool nowadays we can find is Zoom and is Google Meet also. So Google Meet we are already using, and there are many more. Like Zoom is there, Zoom meeting,
Meeting
is there. Yes, yes.
Actually, I'm sorry for interrupting, but I think you are moving your slides, but we are not seeing any slides moving.
Okay. You should have told me earlier. Okay.
Actually,
It happens sometimes, yeah. When we go for full screen mode, then it.
Yeah, now
I think it is visible.
Yes, now.
Okay. So I'll have to carry on like this. It's okay.
Okay.
I'll try.
Sorry for interrupting.
It's okay. So after the first slide, this is what I was telling, that there are different types of ICT tools. Then these are the terminologies I was discussing with all of you, like web conferencing, whiteboard, how to take attendance, then how to create and conduct quizzes, and screen recording tools. Okay. So the next slide, this was I just now I have finished this one, that I was talking about Google and these different types of like Gmail account, then Google Calendar, Docs, Sheets, Slides, Forms, Classroom. Okay, this is the Classroom. I'll show you, and then Drive. And so after this, I think it is okay. I can move on.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now I was discussing about web conferencing. So these are the different options for web conferencing. The only basic requirement is that we all must have a common app or common this software. Like in this case, we are meeting using Google Meet. Okay. Then there are other different. All of you might have gone through Zoom meeting. Then GoToMeeting is there. Cisco is there. Free conference call, Microsoft Teams, Google Hangout is there, and there are many more for web conference. But I will basically stick to Google Meet because here most of these ornithology webinars it will be conducted using Google Meet. So this is the interface. It is not in full screen view, so sorry. Give me a second. So sorry. So this is what we were explaining. I guess it is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is a Google Meet interface. And in Google Meet, while joining in many webinars, I have seen that the organizer constantly keep on telling the participants that please do not present, please do not present, do not click on the present now option. But instead of telling them that, I would like to tell you that in this new version of this educational Google Workspace, Google Meet, your app, there is an icon. You can see this. This is a triangular icon. So if you will click, or in your case, it might be like this three dots maybe present. So this is the icon. If you click on this icon, you will see that a new pop-up menu will appear. And there are two options: share your screen and send chat messages. So you can see here, like this was one of my classroom where I have taken this screenshot. So what I have done, I have simply disabled the option share their screen. So that way what I can do, I can protect my meeting. And my students will never be able to share their screen because I have not allowed them to. Then send chat messages, that also I can disable or I can enable according to my wish. So these two options, these are such a simple and handy buttons which are available with this new Google Meet app. You can simply disable this button and no one will be able to share their screen. So that way your webinar will run smoothly. Then another option feature of Google Meet is that if you are using a G Suite, earlier it was known as G Suite, but now it is known as Google Workspace. So here, if you're having an educational account, then you can have this record meeting option. You can go for recording your meetings, online meetings. Then there are many other options like change your background. Probably many of you might be knowing that you can change your background if you do not want to show what is present behind you, or say you are moving, you are somewhere outside and you cannot on your video. So in that case, you can go for change your background, and on the background, whatever is present, it will not be visible. Then on this top corner, you see this is the whiteboard. I was talking about this. Let me go on. So this is Google Whiteboard. So this is, it is replacing our traditional whiteboard. Like during our offline mode of classes, we all might have used this whiteboard, or Blackboard is already there. So nowadays we are replacing those blackboards with whiteboard. Now Google has also provided a Google Meet app. They have incorporated with this whiteboard. So simply you can click on it. A whiteboard will appear. You'll have to share your entire screen, and the students will be able to see your whiteboard. And if you have a graphic tablet, you can purchase it. It comes from 3,000 to it may go on beyond 50,000 also, but with a minimum I am telling you, if you want to, you can spend 3,000 to 5,000. You can buy a graphic tablet, and with a graphic tablet on this whiteboard, you can simply write any mathematical formula, any statistical formula, which is otherwise is troublesome in putting in a presentation. So it's such a handy option. I will show you how it will use. Another alternative is this Jamboard. You can simply type on Google Jamboard. So this is the logo of Google Jamboard, and this is the interface, how it appears. So I have added here one picture. This is what I created for my first year students to simply add, you can put on some notes also. Like here, you can see here, I created this assignment for them of 5 marks. It was just during their RD classes, starting of the classes, courses. So this is how you can make your presentation a better one, interactive one, and interesting one. Your students will feel like listening or being your presentation. Otherwise, they might feel bored if you just keep on talking, or in a word, if you are just typing and you are just telling your students or your participants. Then another one I want to share with you is about how to take the attendance. So for that, a one-stop solution is Meet Attendance. So this Meet Attendance, probably many of you are using, like I am using, and if not, you can start using it. Very, very handy, very easy to use, and I will show you how to use Meet Attendance. Now this is the logo of Google Meet Attendance, and you can see that if you are using this attendance, you can track your students or your participants. Like say right now in this webinar, 60 plus or 50 plus people are present, and if you want to know about their attendance, then it will show you like this is test user 1, test user 2. So these are their mail IDs. All of you might have logged in using your mail ID, registered mail ID. See, this is the duration. Okay, you can monitor by duration. This is the duration. Like say for this test user 1, he has attended your class, your lecture, or say this webinar for 20 minutes only, and then he left. Say what time he joined. Okay, say 8:30. Say 8:30 you started your meeting, and he joined at 8:30. When he left at 8:50. So his first name, his last name, everything on a single click you can monitor. This is such a handy tool which Google has developed. So I'll show you how to use this Meet Attendance also. And then next one that I wanted to share with you is quizzes. So all of our now using quizzes like question papers we are setting every day. But if we are using this Google Form, and another alternative word is Microsoft Form. So this is in Google Form there is a setting. You can see here. This is for example, I have added here a picture of weekly math quiz. Okay, this is a math quiz. This is the question number 1, and these are the options. The student has to click on the right option, and you have a facility using Google Form that you can make it a quiz. So for that, there is a button. I will show you. This is how to make it a quiz. Okay, you simply have to enable this button to make it a quiz. Otherwise, it will be a simple form for collecting information from your students or from your customers or your users. Then there are other options available like release their grades. Suppose you are conducting a weekly math test, online test of say 20 marks. So you can release the mark like suppose out of 20, student 1 he has scored 15, someone has scored 18, someone has scored say 10 marks. So if you click on this button, then immediately they will get their grading after submission. Okay, and you can also make it manual. Suppose you are giving them something which is not a multiple choice MCQ question. Say this is a short answer, or this is a short note type of question you are given. So in that case, you can click on this later after manual review. You can manually check it. You can put marks out of 2 if he has got 1.5 or 1 mark, and later on it will reduce their grade. So this is such a handy tool. Okay. Then there are also other options like they can see missed questions, they can see the correct answers. If you want to show them that how many questions they have missed or they have made it wrong or how many correct answers, then accordingly you can simply click on those buttons. So I will show you how to create a Google Form also. And the last part that I'm going to share with you is about screen recording. I normally used to see that during webinars, people used to ask for the video. They used to ask for the video lectures even, that whatever you have recorded, sir, ma'am, please share with us the video recording. But what I would like to suggest to you that if you have a email account, a personal Google Meet, you're using a personal Google Meet account, then you can simply go for some handy and free tools like Screencast. I will show you. This Screencast is freely available on using internet. You can simply download it and you can record the lectures. Whatever your teacher is telling you, whatever in the webinar, the resource was teaching, you can simply record using Screencast. I will show you how. Then another similar to Screencast is Screencast. These are known as screencasting or screen recording tools. So Screencast-O-Matic is a little bit different from that of Screencast because in here Screencast-O-Matic you can also record your video. This is not possible in case of Screencast. So this is the logo of Screencast. This is how it appears. And this is the interface. Once you will download the software, you will see it like this. Some dotted rectangle will come. You can readjust the size and you can record the screen. So whatever is appearing on that particular screen, it will simply record. I will show you. And another one is Screencast. Okay, so this is also a freely available tool, but it is little bit advanced compared to your free cam. In that, here you can also record your video. The webcam option you can available if it is there in your system, and then you can only record the screen. You can only record your video, or you can record the both. Okay, so this is what today I'm going to share with you. And let me start with Google Meet. So for that, let me stop sharing. So now we will go for some practical session, like how to create it. So this is the Google Meet, So let me share a tab, or let me share my entire screen. So right now I am sharing my entire screen so that it becomes visible to all of you. So this is how you can share your entire screen. So this is the option that I was telling you. So right now here, the record option is not there because I think it is a personal Google Meet or Gmail account the organizer is using. But had it been a Google Workspace or G Suite account, educational account, then there would have been a recording option. So this is the whiteboard, as you can see here. This is the change your background. Simply you click on it. Okay. So here options will appear. I think it is visible. You can see it. So these are different. Right now my camera is off, so it will not show you. But you can explore it by yourself. Click on any of these wallpapers. You can also add wallpapers. See, use image from this. Whatever is stored on your system, you can use it for changing your wallpaper. And then this is the whiteboard. Yeah, so I have clicked on this Google Whiteboard. So this option, this pop-up menu is coming. Okay, this is the whiteboard. So I can simply start a new whiteboard. It will take some time. Okay, and then it will appear. And alternatively, it will also choose from your drive. So it is asking me. So I am going for turn link sharing on. Anyone can share, see this whiteboard. If I, okay, I'm not doing this. Let's not do this. So this is the option. Okay, start a new whiteboard. You can click on this. Because right now I am presenting it, so that is why it is showing me some issues. But otherwise, in a simple classroom or webinar, you can go for clicking this whiteboard, and you can write anything. Just you need a graphic tablet. This is one. And another one I was telling you about this one, okay, activities tab. So here, okay, right now it is not coming because I am just a participant, so I cannot control whoever is sharing. I cannot stop you from sharing your screen because I am just a participant here. I am not add. So now let me close it. Let me show you how to create a Google Meet link. For that, I need to share a key tab. So this is a new tab that I have created, and I'm sharing this tab. I think it is visible. Yes, it is visible. It's coming. So this is the tab. Okay. So for that, what you have to do? Is you can simply go to this list. Can you see this? This 9 buttons are there. This square 9 buttons are there, and once you put your cursor here, it shows Google Apps. So simply click on it. Okay? So it will show you a number of apps that Google has developed over these years. See, this is Google Classroom. I'm using it, so it is coming on top. If you are not using Google Classroom, it will be at the bottom of the list. Okay. Then this is Gmail. This is Drive. This is Google Calendar. Yeah, this is the Google Calendar. So simply you click on this Google Calendar. So once you click, your calendar will appear. It is appearing. So this is your Google Calendar. Today is 25th of July. 2021. So it is showing you, see, Sunday, Monday, this whole weekend, then your time from 11 a.m. till 11 p.m. showing you, right? So these are my classrooms, Google Classrooms that I am already using, first time, second time, and so many others are already stored here because I'm continuously using it. So what you have to do, say you want to conduct a webinar on 1st of July, okay? Today is 25th of July, and on 1st of, August, I want to create a Google Meet link. Say I have a class at 10 p.m. Okay, so then you can see this is at 10 p.m. Okay, so simply click on it. See, it is coming. Add a title. Say I am putting, say I have a class of BSc first sem. Right? So this is my title, the BSc first sem class. Right? Then I can change the time if I wish. Say my class is not from 10 a.m. p.m. Sorry, it is p.m. Right now it is showing you p.m. So I'll have to change it to a.m. So this is 10 a.m. So from 10 to 11 a.m. for 1 hour I am taking a class. Then what you have to do is simply click on this link, add Google Meet video conferencing. You simply click on it. Now it is creating a Google Meet ID. Can you see this? This is the ID. You can copy it, like this is the copy button. Copy this info, you can copy it, you can paste it somewhere for your future reference, or if you have a WhatsApp group or Telegram group with your students, you can simply share the link with your students. And then simply use save. Okay, so it will get saved. So it will even send you a message automatically if you click on this. So it is showing me that I have 4 days to start this particular class. So that way you can create a Google Meet link. Then on that particular date or time, you can join with Google Meet, and your students will be, they can join you in this particular webinar or your class, whatever you are creating. And it will get stored in your Google Calendar, so that for your future reference, if you want to see how many number of classes you have taken, or what was the last date you attended some meeting or class, you can go back. It will always be stored on your Google Calendar. So it is a very handy option to share or store many personal data which you do not want to store somewhere offline. Like if you if you write in a diary, the diary might run missing, or someone might, there is a chance that someone might see it. But in a Google Calendar, without your password, without you do not log in, if they do not know your password, they cannot see your data. So that way you can store many information using Google Calendar. So I hope this is clear. Now, the next I want to show you about Meet attendance. Okay, how to use Meet attendance. So for that, you need to go to Google once again. Okay, and here we will type from web store. So the basic requirements to use this Chrome Web Store is that, or this attendance app is that, you must have a browser, Google Chrome. If you are not using this Google Chrome browser, because many of you might be using Internet Explorer, Microsoft Edge is there, and Opera is there, Mozilla is there. So there are so many other browsers. So the basic requirement to use this Meet attendance is Google Chrome. If you're using Google Chrome, you can simply use and type Chrome Web Store. Now you can see here, this is Google Chrome Web Store. Okay, we will go to this extension. You can see here there are so many apps are there, themes are there, etc. So we will just if you can take a screenshot, we will click on this extension button. Now a new window is appearing. You can see this is a new window. This is the Chrome Web Store, as you can see here. Okay, now there is a search button here, the search tab. So here we will simply write Meet attendance. So it is appearing, see, this is Meet attendance and enter. So you see immediately when I have clicked on this Meet attendance button, so many apps are coming. Like the first one is Google Meet attendance list, and the next one, this is what I want to show you. This is a Meet attendance. So you can use this first one also. If you click on it, it will automatically, it will take your attendance of your any online meeting that you create using Google Meet. it will automatically keep on taking attendance. But I do not want to make it auto. I want to make it manual because sometimes it so happens that I do not need the attendance of many meetings that I am conducting. So if I require, I will take the attendance. If I do not require, I will not. So I'll go for meet attendance. So you click on this meet attendance, you see, since it is already added to my browser, from browser, so it is showing me remove from. But in your case, if you're using it for the first time, you can practice it right now. Then it will show you that add this extension. You click on it, you will have to verify with your mail ID. You will give it access of your mail ID, and then it will get simply added to your browser. So on this browser, okay, so I'll show you how I am using it. So this is the show everyone, that is say 80 people right now, all of you are present here. So I guess it is visible. So here you see, this is me, my presentation, and below, these are so many people who are present right now. So see, there is a small, button is here in the middle. Can you see my cursor? This hand, it is showing a small button. See. So if I will click on this button, then another tab is opening. This is the one. Can you see this? So see, just a single click, I have taken the attendance for all of you. Now I can see who has joined at what particular time, or if none of you have some of you have might have joined at this particular time. You have not yet left, or whoever is left, I can see the duration. Okay, so that way, see the duration of this meeting is 51 minutes. Right now it is running. So these are the people who are present in this particular meeting. Okay, so 92 it is showing me. So that means 90 of you are present here. So this way, and you can also share it. Right now it is private only me, but if I wish to share it with someone, say to your HOD, suppose he or she is asking how many students have joined, and if your number of students is 100 or more than 100, you can simply add her mail ID and you can share it, okay, with your head or with any other, whoever is asking you about the attendance of your participants or your students. So this is such a handy tool. So I guess you are able to follow me, whatever I am showing you right now. And another benefit is that this particular list, this is it will be available with your Google Drive. If you will be opening your drive, you will see that this sheet, meet attendance sheet, on the date 25/7/2021, it has been added to your drive automatically. So this is such a handy tool. Okay. So the next one that I want to share with all of you is about quiz. I guess I have very few times left. So I'll show you how to create a Google form and quiz, and then maybe I will stop. So for creating a quiz, the very handy option is Google Form. Let's open the form and then I will show you. So for that, you can either type here Google Form, or another option is you can simply click on this list view button, and you can see here also there is a logo called Form. You can explore it by yourself, see each slides, and this is Google Form. Okay? This is the blue, and this is a logo or icon for this Google Form. So you simply click on this, and it will lead you to this form. So you see, online, so many new forms are available. This is the plus button, it shows a blank. If you wish to create it on your own, you can go for blank. Or if you want to, you can also use some template which are already available. Like this for event registration, this is a specific a sample form. This is for assessment, online assessment. If you want to make a quiz or something, this is for their getting information regarding their contact details, and so many other template galleries there. You can explore it by yourself. So I would like to show you any one of these. For example, this is the form which I created for my students for taking a class test. Let me open it. So this is the BSc first time last year I took a class test. So this is a, you can also add your pictures, and you can see how many of them has responded or answered your questions. So here is another button, responses. You can see that 10 of my students, they were 12. Out of 12, 10 has already responded. Rest 2 of them, they did not respond. You can see the average number was 20 marks that I put. So let me first of all show you about this form. So this is how I created. Okay, I'll show you how I created their name, and these are the questions. You see, I prepared a quiz. That means in a quiz you can shuffle your questions so that the question number 1 may not necessarily be this first question. Like here, I have put the term uses was coined by. So if I put here question number 1, then what will happen? The student will automatically come to know that where the question number 1 is, and he can simply send a WhatsApp message to other students. So I'm not adding any number here. So simply I have put the question, then I am using this form as a quiz. I am reshuffling the questions so that they cannot guess, or they cannot, and also I am giving them a very specific time to attend 30 minutes. Okay, so how I have done this, I would like to show you. There are some buttons here. The first one is add-on, second one is theme. You can change this theme, like here I have added one header photo, then this color I have changed. So I'll show you how to do this. So this is the theme. Okay, here you can upload the image, like here I have since this quiz was on chromosomes, so I have added a picture of chromosome here. You can change it if you wish. And then this is the color theme. You can change the color of your Google form if you wish, and so on. There are so many other options like background color, what will be your font style, and so many things are here. So you can change your theme as you want. Then there is a preview button. Like after the creation of this form, if you want to see how it looks like, it will look like to your students. So right now no preview is available because I have closed this collect this. There is an option not accepting responses. So had I enabled this button, then I would have been able to see this form. Then there is another option, that is your setting. This I want to share with all of you. This is very important. So this is about general settings. If you do not click on it, it will not be collecting their email. If they do not wish to add, if they wish, they will add. They have to sign in definitely, but it will not collect their email. Then there is another option, limit to 1 response. If you do not click on it, then what will happen if some of your participant or student, they think that maybe I have done something wrong, I want to resubmit, they can, for more than 1, like 2-3 times, they can submit this same form. So to avoid that, you can click on this button. Then this is the presentation, like show the progress bar, shuffle this question order, you can shuffle, and confirmation message. You can type anything here that after the submission of the form, whatever message you want to appear on their screen, it will appear. Then this last option is this quizzes. So if you enable it, it will make it a quiz. If you do not enable, then it will not make it a. Then you can also release the grade immediately. Like here, I have clicked on immediately after each submission. So for that, what you have to do, and then you can save it. And after saving, what you can do, you can click on this send button. So it will show you that send via email. You can send, if you know their email, you can simply click on here, and you can send an email. Or alternatively, what you can do, you can click on this. So it will create a link. This is called the quiz link or Google Form link. You can sort in the URL. Simply, you can copy it and you can paste it in your WhatsApp group or in your Google Classroom or anywhere you want to share this quiz. And later on, responses will be collected here. And this plus symbol, if you click on it, so it will ask you create a new spreadsheet or select existing. Okay, so that way you can create a spreadsheet where all your information, whatever your respondents have, you know, uh, responded, everything will get recorded in your Excel sheet. So it is that much of easy, I'm telling you. If you are still a beginner, if you want to create or want to take an online test, if you want to create a quiz, you can simply go through Google form. And another alternative is your Microsoft form. It is more or less similar, you can explore, but since time is very limited, I think my time was up to 8, so I'd have to stop after 3, 4, 5 minutes. So that's why I guess you're able to follow till now whatever I'm telling you. So if you have any doubt or query regarding whatever I'm telling you, you can contact me after this. And so it is not like that ICT, I'm an expert on ICT. It's not like that. But since the last year, since we are using all these different ICT tools, so a few of which I have already mastered. And I'm still an advanced learner, I'd like to say. Although I have shared some basic tools, these are very, very basic and handy tools. You can make your webinar very safe, without any disturbance, without disturbing your participants. You can silently click take their attendance. You can prevent them by from sharing their screen, and that way your online class or your online meeting, whatever it is, maybe through Google Meet, through Zoom, you'll be able to protect your meeting from any unwanted kind of thing. So with these few words, I'd like to conclude my talk here. I guess whatever I have done through my experience, I have shared with all of you properly, and you are able to follow me and practice it at home. And if you are a beginner, of course, if not, you already might be knowing these things. And please share with with your friends, with your students, so that they can also become a ICT enabled person. So I would like to share a link in the chat box. This is my Padlet, my own very own Padlet. When we were in high school or in high secondary, what we used to do is that at the end of our class or something, we used to write our names and our details, etc. So we used to write it on a handkerchief or on on our T-shirt. The boys, they normally used to write their name, their signature, their details on a T-shirt. So that has been replaced by this Padlet. So this is the link I have just now shared on the chat box. Please click on this link. If you are not using Padlet, you install it on your device, and just send me a message. Whether you are liking or not liking, if you want to know something further, I will respond. Put your name, your email, and your institution if you wish to, and just send me a message, like a feedback kind of a thing. I'm preserving it with me for my future reference. So I'm reposting it. Okay. So this is my Padlet. Please respond. So that's all for today. If you have any questions, you can interact. We can interact. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. This was such an interesting session because nowadays we are all online oriented, and I hope this will help many of you. And I myself learned so many new things today that I did not know in Google Meet till now, even after using it for so many days. And I'm pretty sure everyone has enjoyed the session and learned many things from it. And I think the patent that man put in the chat box will also help you all. And y'all can just put your questions, whatever you have, in the chat box as ma'am told earlier. And by now we have 2 questions. So should I continue or should you take some time if you are going to answer the question?
Just a second. I'm interested in between. Somehow my camera has failed. I don't know why. I'll have to check on it. Just give me a minute. I will bring my mobile, and I'd like to put on my video. I mean, yeah. Just give me a minute. I'll be back.
So till ma'am is correcting everything, you all can put your questions there when we'll be continuing with it. again repeat that if anyone of you have any question, you are free to put that in the chat box. So, ma'am, you are visible, so I think we should continue with the permission.
Sudham?
Whoever has their audios open, please mute yourself. So I think we should continue with the questions.
So if you have any questions, I'll be happy to interact with all of you. Somehow my laptop video is not working. That's why I have joined it through my mobile.
So
If not, yeah.
yes, the first question somebody was asking that we are learning all this in Google Meet and Cisco, but is it possible for Google Meet? So is it possible for Zoom and Cisco so that we can keep the attendance for the students or the people who are joining?
In Zoom, I have never used it actually. I mean, from the very beginning, we are using Google Meet because our institutional, I have a institutional account, and that's how this. But you can try for it also for this Zoom. I don't know. I have never used it actually. I have never tried. I have never charged for. But in Google Meet, this Meet attendance, it is a very handy tool to take your students' attendance, provided they have joined through your respective email ID.
Thank you, ma'am. The next question is that when we are continuing a meet on Google Meet, then the participants are, for example, we take the students, they sometimes open their mic and all together they start disturb the class. So how can we mute all of them together? Is there any option like that?
Yeah, very very good question. Yes, many often we all have experience being a teacher. We all have experience that students they forget to put off their mic. So in that case, this is a very simple option that if you are the organizer, like if you have created a link, then you have an option that you can mute them. You can mute them. You can also remove them. You can see here if you are joining through mobile, simply clicking on, you will get three. I mean, if you are the creator of the link, otherwise you will not be. Like right now, I am just a participant in this particular webinar or this meeting, so I cannot mute anyone or I cannot remove anyone. But the admin of this particular webinar, they can simply revoke me. They can unmute me. So this is all in your hand. If you are the link is created through your mail ID.
Okay, ma'am. So seeing the chat box, it is clear that there are no more questions, and we had our discussion session until 8:20, but I see there were no questions in the chat box. So if the participants feel like they have any question, you can write it in the chat box. But as there are no questions, I think we should move on to the next announcement. So I would hand over the mic to Dr. Devabrata Das, Administrator and Fun Official in our Facebook group, Associate Professor of Botany, Lalgar Government College, Lalgar, Jharkhand, West Bengal. So sir, I please request you to announce.
Thank you, Atmaja. Devabrata. After a long break, we come here again. Sangeeta, your presentation is very nice. So we are going to arrange more webinars on this platform, that is a knowledge dissemination program. Actually, Atmaja created this group, Atmaja Budding Group, ABG, to disseminate knowledge and create interest among actually learners. Expert and researchers' view and workers' effort are very essential to know more about birds. Not only that, it includes ecosystems, habitats, and people's participation to make complete environment for better management. In this way, we are going to arrange many more webinars and many more, so that is knowledge dissemination programs like quiz or thing. After the COVID, we will meet again in different places for visit, research, study, extension, and so on. Therefore, this program is very nice. Today's program is very nice, and after that we will go to the next webinar. And obviously, the webinars that is a presentation to be organized by us. And our next speaker will be Atmaja. Atmaja's presentations on 19th August 2021, the same time, that is 7 to 8:30 p.m. Introduction of birds. Actually, Atmaja will actually discuss on common birds and their behaviors and how to record the birds, in which way we can study birds, and all. That is A, B, C of birds. And after that, our next resource persons will come from Bombay Natural History Society. Nand Kishore Sir Dudhe. Sir will describe that is citizen science program or common bird monitoring program. But you remember that 19th August 2021, we will meet again in the same platform, and the theme of the presentation is Introduction to Common Birds by Atmaja Observer. I think Atmaja will go to the presentation platform, and after this, she will call Dr. J.K. Day to give vote of thanks. Atmaja, please.
Yeah, yes, sir. So, as long as I saw in the chat box, there are no questions. So, we will be closing the portal for questions, and now we will moving to the vote of thanks. And after the vote of thanks, our session will be closed. So, for the vote of thanks, I would like to I would request Sir Dr. J.K. Day, retired scientist, Geological Survey of India, to give the vote of thanks for today's session. So, please.
Thank you. Good evening to everybody. On behalf of the organizing committee, I record my sincere thanks to Dr. Sangeeta Das, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany, Bhavana College, Jorhat, Assam, for our beautiful presentations on information and communication technologies. This presentation is certainly useful to the beginners. Professor Das explained each and every step of ICT tools very critically and lucidly. Many thanks to Madam. Thanks is also due to Dr. Rajini Gautam, Associate Professor, Department of Zoology, Career College, Bhopal, for our beautiful introduction to Dr. Sangeeta Das, the speaker of this webinar. Lastly, sincere thanks are also given to organizing committee, especially Dr. Pampi Ghosh, Dr. Deborah Das, Atmaja Obhirupa Das, and Birding WhatsApp group, as well as district-owned organizations, Flora and Fauna Asia Case groups, for organizing this webinar with more than 80 participants. Thanks to all for the beautiful webinar today. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, as we are seeing that this webinar was a huge success today, and this was our first webinar, and everybody had enjoyed it and had learned many things new from this. So, at last, I would like to just give one more thanks to Dr. Sangeeta Das for giving such a good lecture on these informative things. Dr. Rajini Gautam for introducing our speaker today, and Dr. J.K. Day for giving the vote of thanks, and there is always Dr. Devabrata Dash and the whole organizing committee who is responsible for organizing such a good webinar from my group. So I hope that we'll all be having more interesting webinars. We'll having more webinars in future from my group and also from other groups. And I think today this will be all because I don't have any other questions that I have seen in the chat box, and I don't think people are having any more queries. So now as everything is done, the vote of thanks is also given. I think I'll be closing the portal now, so everybody of you can leave the portal, and thanks to everyone and also the participants for hearing the webinar and for staying with us for a long time. So thank you everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Atmaja. Thank you, Dr. Sangeeta.
One more announcement. Participants, please download your certificate from WhatsApp group or Telegram group today after 10 p.m. And those who are newcomers, please wait and receive your certificate from WhatsApp group or by mail. Thank you. If you feel any problem, just call me. My mobile number is here. You collect from chat box or you can mail to me. Okay? Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night everyone.
Good night.
So everyone who is there in the group who is waiting for the link or the numbers, you can collect that from the chat box. And but there is a few seconds, so at 8:20 I will be closing the group as there are no more questions and everything is done. So just collect your feedback link etc. from the chat box and I will be closing the link by 8:20.